cult members, and welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is going to be our non-spoiler review of Knives Out.
As much as we can.
As much as we could talk about the movie without talking about spoilers. Thanks for watching the video tonight. Look, she got her hair did.
Yay.
Yay. Yes.
Unless you're listening on the podcast and then you can't tell.
Just imagine bright pink.
Right.
Let's try to do our best to talk about this movie without spoiling. It is a whodunit. It is Rian Johnson who wrote and directed it. He worked on this while he was working on the idea for this while he was working on the end of The Last Jedi.
Okay.
And the thing I said in my our Stardust review was, "Hey, Rian Johnson can write and direct. Suck it, Star Wars fans." And it's true. Like how he was able to craft this movie and this story and keep you guessing the entire time, which is what a good whodunit does. I mean,
yeah. I've always been like I like this type of movie, but I've always been like, I don't know how these people come up with these ideas. I would, like, halfway through it would just be a hot mess. I would have gotten lost and wouldn't remember who done it.
The butler did it. There's no butler in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me go read back.
Yeah.
But the idea of having a mystery writer who is played by Christopher Plummer, it's Harlan Thornby. Thornby. Sorry, there's an M in there. Having a mystery writer be the one who is kind of the center part of this whole family.
Right.
Puts in your head as soon as you get into the movie that everything means something and something means everything.
Right. Right.
and there was like we talked about it. I'm like, I have to go watch it again because I was so enamored with the performances that I want to go back and see where the details are that they actually.
Yes. We did get in the very beginning. There's a clue. I won't say anymore that we did catch because we talked about it on the way home.
Yes.
But
yes. And
it's also kind of interesting because you actually know who done it pretty quickly. Like,
right.
Normally it's,
right.
If you've ever seen an Agatha Christie movie or read an Agatha Christie book, there's a dead body and who done it. And this is
right.
different.
Yes. You have a pretty good idea what's going on. It's the circumstances, I think, that you're trying to figure out the whole way.
Right.
Is that a good way of explaining without
yes.
spoiling anything?
Yes.
Let's talk about this cast is A, gigantic, and B, amazing in this movie.
Yes.
Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Michael Sheen's the other one, Toni Collette, Don Johnson, Christopher Plummer. Yes. These are all people that we're going to want to go see do a movie or TV show or something anyways.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to get back around to this. Don Johnson's assance that's going on right now.
Right. It kind of started with Django, I guess. He kind of came back on the scene and has really been in a lot of stuff recently. And
he's really good in Watchmen. He's really good in this. And they're two very different characters.
And Christopher Plummer is 100 years old and still looks amazing. And
as amazing as his cast is acting circles around almost everybody else because he's Chris freaking Plummer.
Yeah.
like the whole thing that happened with the Kevin Spacey stuff last year, he came in and they refilmed all of Kevin Spacey's parts
right.
with Christopher Plummer.
Right.
Like, it just proves, like, just give him an Oscar for just doing
2 weeks.
that.
Can you refilm this whole movie?
Right, and make it a believable performance. And like, it was really as amazing as this cast is. The standout for me is Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
He plays essentially a Peru.
Right. He's Benoit Blanc instead of Perrault Hercule.
Hercule Poirot.
Hercule Poirot. There you go. I flipped it. Benoit Blanc. White muffin. Because a Benoit is a...
It is. It's totally what it is.
It's a muffin. It's a Benoit Blanc. He's a white muffin.
He's a white muffin. He's kind of... You want to squish his face and stuff. His character, his accent, the voice that he decides to do in this movie, when I saw the trailers, I was like, Daniel Craig is doing a weird voice, and is this going to work? And is he going to be able to keep it up for the whole time? And he did. He kept it up the whole time. It totally works.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense for who he is as that kind of playboy sleuth. He he's always very well dressed.
Yeah.
And he's also very meticulous. That's the word. With all the evidence and
he's
questioning
like a superstar detective, right? He comes in and like several of the characters are like, "Oh, I read a tweet about a Vanity Fair article about you,"
Yeah.
So he's obviously popular and comes in and he's like, kind of, I'm here to save the day. But things kind of get away from him.
Yes, that's a very good way of putting it. And I appreciated that they took the chance with that character that way. Because I think if he was just Daniel Craig, I think he would have been a little one note.
Yeah, well, he does that. What's the movie with Adam Driver from last year?
Oh, Logan Lucky. No, Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky. He is definitely not James Bond in that. He's not Daniel Craig in that movie either. So he can definitely do that.
He is he's a character actor who happened to get one of the best roles you can ever get on the planet.
Yeah, which probably isn't too much of a character for him.
That's the yeah.
It's kind of him.
Ana de Armas. She's the other kind of main character playing off Daniel Craig's character, and I actually went and looked it up. She's Joy in 2049, Blade Runner 2049.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
I knew she looked familiar.
Yeah,
I just couldn't think of. Yeah.
And in this particular role, she plays a
caregiver.
A caregiver. I was going to say a live-in nurse, but she doesn't live there. She becomes Harlan's nurse and friend and stuff.
Yeah.
But she's very mousy and I won't say frumpy. Frumpy's not the right word, but she's got she's able to convey this young version, this young character, and then you turn around and watch her as Joy, and she's very sensual and elegant and also robotic at times because she's a computer program and stuff. So I just appreciate that she can play both ends and stuff. And I'm sorry, Chris Evans can act, guys. I'm just looking at the rest of the list, but Chris Evans was so good as he was. I mean,
and there's a lot of subversion in the trailers. We saw a lot of trailers. We've seen a lot of
movies.
to a lot of movies, and this trailer was in front of just about every movie we've seen in the last 2-3 months. And I was starting to feel like, you get into that trap where you've seen all the good parts, and there were a couple of times where the scene would have been funnier if I hadn't seen it 50 million times.
Right.
But there was a lot of expectation subversion where and Chris Evans' character is definitely one of those where you think he's one thing from the trailers, but he's actually something different.
He's something completely different. And within the game, within the movie itself, he like switches like how he switches multiple times, so keeps you on your toes of who he really is and what side he's really on and stuff like that. And that's really hard to convey and get it across, to be able to be one particular style of person and then within the same scene turn around and be another type of person and stuff. And that was the final scene where they're kind of like laying it out for you. He does that, and it's really, really well done. The rest of the cast is amazing. It's shot really well. The music's really cool. I love the one location set. They do leave the location a couple times, but I like it's very. A lot of people are saying Clue-ish, and it's it's like a high-end version of Clue.
Yeah. Yeah, again, a lot of the Agatha Christie movies happen kind of in one set, one location, on a train or, in a hotel or so, I mean, that's a common theme with murder mysteries, but they do leave and you see it in the trailers, they do leave the house.
I was just like we got a poster because we went to the early screening event for because we have AMC A-List, and the poster is super colorful. Like everybody's outfits are very colorful and stuff like that, and the house itself is very colorful. And it'd been really easy to do a murder mystery with like dark and like muted colors and stuff like that, but they really did a good job of showing everything, which is what I really appreciated and stuff like that. So overall, really, really like this movie.
Yep.
Do you want to score it?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm at a 4.25.
Okay.
Which is typical for us. One of us is a little bit above the other. And this is officially out for everybody this Thursday.
Okay.
So if you have a chance to go see it, go see it. It's a lot of fun. Nothing has been ruined, at least of what I've seen social media wise or anything like that. And so you can kind of keep going with that.
Yep. Go see it soon before it is.
Yeah. Because it's so good. All right. That's our thoughts on Knives Out. Mostly, we didn't spoil anything. I don't think so. So let us know what you thought of this movie. If you're on the YouTube channel, leave us a comment, like the video. If you're on the podcast feed, please subscribe. Subscribe to everything that we have: the YouTube channel, the podcast feed, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Facebooks. All of the links and everything is in the description down below. And until next time, if we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.